Welcome back, YouTube. It's been a while. I'm back from a lot of events, really. I came from 2 events. I just came from Watch the Throne. Before that, I went the week early and went to Genesis Black. So had a lot of good time up there in San Jose. But before we get into all this, I will say first, if you have not checked out the last video, I can commentate anything. Definitely take a good gander at that. It's a pretty fun video, a little series I want to start up. Second, if you haven't already hit the subscribe button here on the TK Breezy channel, definitely think about doing that. Make sure you stay up to date on when I got new videos and stuff coming out. And also come over to the Twitch and hit that subscribe and follow button over here as well so you can catch these live. All right. With all that being said, let's get into our first story. We are going to talk mostly about Watch the Throne, but I did want to highlight one other thing before we get in there. And that is E3 is canceled permanently. That sucks, to be honest. That actually sucks. E3 was a very, very huge part of one of my, not only my career, but like my childhood of like watching all the new stuff coming out at E3. And then I actually went and did the E3 Invitational, and I've been there for a couple other things as well after such. So, but yeah, man, after 2 decades, E3, one of the biggest, each one bigger than the last. The time has come to say goodbye. So there's no more E3, man. It's over. You know what I mean? That's a big rough one, but hopefully we have something that comes in place to like kind of take over that, or maybe PAXs can step up and be like more of a generalized hub for gaming and stuff. But yeah, as of right now, we have nothing to really fully replace E3. So big rip. Also, you know what? There's one other story I wanted to cover real quick. This one is like, it's not like a super like news story, but it was kind of a funny story, and I think the responses to this story is kind of killing me. All right, so if y'all didn't catch this last week, Twitch streamers' viewers increased after using a picture of a white man rather than his own camera. That's Just Relax Kid. We know that's my guy. So this is one of his videos. He's playing the same game. 309 views here, and then later on 22.4K views. Now, the funniest thing about this is that a lot of people are like, damn, that's crazy. And like anybody with critical thinking can understand that, like, genuinely on Twitch, yes, being a white man does make it slightly easier for you. And I'm saying slightly just to not catch a lot of flack, but I'm gonna be real with you, it makes it very much easier for you. Like, so, and everybody in these comment sections are like, yeah, but what about Speed and what about Kai? Like, they're top creators, so this is a moot point. No, nigga, like that's not how that fucking works, bro. The fact is that we finally have 2 people that are broken out, but like, look at the content that they have to do to get to those points, bro. Speed's running around slapping his dick on his leg and shit on a regular basis. Kai's jumping around his room all day, every day. Like, they couldn't just be regular ass streamers doing regular ass shit. You can't just like load up your stream, you know what I mean, play a game and then form a fan base. There's a lot of like currently like white streamers that I think are pretty big that like I've sat in their streams for like hours and I feel like they do nothing of interest, but they're still popular because they're relatable to the mass that usually watches them, which is usually other white people. So, you know what I mean? There's obviously nuance in a lot of this stuff. But to act like just because 2 black people made it now that it's possible for all black people to make it, or that like there's not a level of difficulty to obtain success when you're black on Twitch than there is when you're white on Twitch. It's difficult for everybody because Twitch is oversaturated, but it's much difficult as a black man to break out in the sea of content creators than it is for a white man to break out in the sea of content creators, though. So I don't know, like, that's just how I feel about it. I mean, I'm also a black man who is on Twitch trying to make the best of it, and yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's a very interesting thing. Now, I'm not saying that like you know, being black you can't ever become successful. I'm just saying that like in most aspects of life, you do have to work slightly harder in a lot of things. I feel like we have to work harder to be noticed, harder to get over like prejudice or like stereotypes and things like that that white people most likely don't have to do a lot of the times. So anyway, just a funny thing. This is him putting in, yes, this is me, king of the black people. So anyway, now let's get to the main topic here. It's going to be that Watch the Throne. So I went to Watch the Throne, obviously. I was actually part of the team that helped plan it. I was the talent manager. So I got all the people's flights to get there to make sure that we could actually run the tournament. They all showed up, so big W for me. I'm happy to see that everybody got on their flights, because sometimes smashers do not be getting on their flights. Watch the Throne, from my experience, was actually probably the most fun that I've had an event in a while. One, I'm there with all my boys, and two, I played a lot of other games that I were happy to be there. So I played a lot of Rivals 2, and I played a lot of Combo Devils, which is, both games are very fun, and I'm excited to see the future of said games. I also played a decent amount of NASME, but I've already been playing NASME, so yeah. Guildhouse is a great venue. What else happened? The matches up until top 4, which is unfortunately just the facts, were very fun. Actually, I would say the matches up until top 6 were very fun. The matches from stage and stuff were cool. I got to see Webb do pretty well, even though he wasn't able to grab a set. He got some pretty good games in there. I feel as though altogether, like, the event ran well, but I did ask for a feedback thread, and I think some of the people were like, some of the other casters were comparing it to Summit a lot. And whilst I think it's very easy for you to make that comparison to Summit, because it was a Summit style event, basically, 4 casters, or 3 to 4 casters on the couch. A gauntlet stage, a group stage, all that good stuff. What we set out to be was just an invitational. We didn't want to be, we didn't want to be Summit fully. That's why there was no skits. Also, we just don't have Summit money like that yet. It's going to be a while before we can do the things that Summit did. They had a production company, a studio, and money. We don't have a production company. We barely have money. And we're just like, a lot of us actually worked that event for free. It was just kind of like a passion project that actually worked out. So I'm glad that it did work out the way that it did. And I did look at some of the feedback, and I think there was actually some really good feedback that I did see in the thread, which we'll go and look over. But that was my experience of Watch the Throne. Now, there's a couple things that came out from Watch the Throne that I think are big pieces of info to talk about. The first one was during the set with Akola and Tweak. We had this moment happen.
All right. Now, I hate to say it, it kind of looks like Tweak is done.
So the production got cut to the cameras, and like, whilst that could have been funny anywhere else, I think at this point in time, this is probably not it. Tweak's already down 2-0. We've been dealing with this type of gameplay the entirety of the time, of Akola just doing this and farming, and then that was like pretty much it. It's uninteractive Steve gameplay from Akola. I just don't think he was I think he knew exactly what he was doing here. So that was like not really a cool thing to do. It seems like a lot of people were like, yeah, that wasn't cool and whatnot. Tweak wasn't feeling it. It be what it be. That definitely was not definitely was not it. The other thing, there was one other thing I wanted to bring up, and that is the Buzz tweet. The Buzz saying, I want to find time next year to take a long Smash break. Having to fight Steve at almost every event is an absolutely abysmal experience. We're so lucky he's not fun to play like Brawl MK or Smash 4 Bayo plus Cloud. Otherwise, everyone will be playing him, which is absolutely facts. So he said, I would love to full send in SF6 instead of playing on the side, maybe Rivals, maybe Multiverses, all that other good stuff, right? So he will Minecraft because it is strong. I don't know why he said that, but yeah, there was a couple of quote tweets on this one, almost specifically from, I think Rich Brown was the one that I saw the bigger interaction from, that they went back and forth for a little bit, but I feel like I can probably just find it through DeBuzz's replies, to be honest. Yeah, they went a little back and forth. Here we go. So Rich Brown says, there's a difference between being fun and competitive integrity, which I feel most are ignoring. Also, he outpatiented everyone for years, and it was so dope. But now that there's a character that does it better, it's suddenly abysmal. This isn't the dunk people think it is, and that's what he said. So then DeBuzz says, I fought Mutual King going for timeouts with Brawl NK, Salem going for timeouts with SF or S4 Bayo, Cloud limit camping. These characters were better at patience than mine, but at least it was fun to devise and execute game plans against that nonsense. This quote critique isn't the dunk that you think it is, to which he absolutely ratioed the shit out of him. 1.5 to 79. And he says, what made it fun against those characters? Why aren't you having fun doing more or less the same thing now? Glad we can get a real discussion going. By the way, my intention wasn't to dunk on anyone, just doing my best to help people get in touch with their feelings. Many things, but I do not like the feel. I do not feel like having a discussion when your intent is to be in contrarian over opinion of mine that has no factual basis. I will summarize it in this way. I like having the freedom of movement and positioning in my platform fighters. There's a lot more of a course with Steve, but I constantly feel like my time is being wasted doing nothing interesting versus the rinse and repeat of block wall minecart dare. Yeah, there's counterplay I can get better at, but the counterplay is always layered behind wasting huge portions of my time for meaningful interaction. My intent, okay, however fun is ban. Did I say ban him? Nope. Oh, he says my intent was not to be a contrarian. I thought we knew each other better than that. Blah blah blah. However, fun does not equal ban. Not fun does not equal bannable. Did I say ban him? Nope. I didn't even apply it. I just stated my intent to take the break. Any statement of me saying he should be banned is entirely your assumption based on your biases of how you think someone follows up a tweet like mine. So, with all that being said, right? Yeah, DeBuzz definitely never said ban this character. He said, I am just tired of playing this game because playing against this character is not fun, right? I'm with it. I think playing with this character against this character is not fun. And I think for a while, I thought it was kind of funny watching Steve do the Steve stuff, but now I hate it. I'm like over it. Like I want to like, can we move on? It's like, just not fun to watch anymore, bro. And like that is the thing too, is that yes, obviously there's counterplay to this character. We have seen this character invalidate and change the whole pace of this match. And I think the other thing too is like when you try to bring up mentions of other characters from like the past, we were kind of in the wrong too for that as well. All I'm saying is, bro, like Bayo probably could have got banned as well. But everyone, oh no, it's not that bad. It was that bad. Meta Knight maybe could have got banned, but I think Brawl was just a flawed game in the first place. And I feel like you have to equate the game engine with the entirety of the subject. So if Meta Knight was in this game right now, the fact that we can combo Meta Knight makes that matchup already easier, right? If Brawl Meta Knight was in Smash Ultimate, the fact that he can actually get comboed and maybe edge guarded makes it a lot easier to deal with than not being able to combo him having almost a seemingly unbeatable moves, him being able to air stall super hard, him being able to shark super hard, and then shuttle loop being one of the best out of shield options in the game. So yeah, it's you have to bring in like all of that together. You can't just be like, well, Meta Knight was well, okay, yes, the whole game as a package with Meta Knight on the top was busted. The whole game of Smash 4 with 2 stocks and Bayo and her even getting nerfed and still being able to like pretty much kill you off straight hits, busted. So there's other things in this game that I think are an issue too. You know, the buffer system definitely needed some work and whatnot. But to sit here and act like Steve is not one of the most polarizing characters in this game is absolutely insane. From a spectator standpoint, it's not fun to watch in uninteractive gameplay. From a player standpoint, it's not fun, as from what DeBuzz said. You know, he has to do so much just to get one meaningful interaction, which is not something that you have to do with other people who can zone and stuff in this game. 100%, right? And I think there was ways to fix Steve too. I feel like real shit, if Steve couldn't build unless he was connected to like a surface, that could have helped a lot in a major way. Like, so instead of being able to put up air blocks and shit, he can still build and make the wall or make like the ground above the ledge as long as he's touching the stage or some shit like that. But it's an insane thing to like look at this character, see what he can do, see how well he can determine the pace of a match, see how well he can either slow things down, speed up. Also, combo game is fucking insane off of a stray hit. Also, my 2 very good ways to get out of disadvantage that you almost always have all the time anyway, because of the fact that it's very easy to, 1, minecart away, build a 3-foot wall, and then mine, or 2, anvil your way down. Somebody has to respect that, and then keep it going. So yeah, I mean, the character definitely kind of fundamentally breaks the rules of what's supposed to go on in a platform fighter, in my opinion. You know, he literally can't place blocks in the air in Minecraft. So now you're right. What the fuck is that about? That's crazy, bro. But I think, yeah, I think Steve in itself is great character design to see how you can make that character work in Smash. Well, that motherfucker works, bro. That motherfucker works for sure. And all these arguments of being like, well, he didn't win, that's not a good argument, okay? The reason why Steve is not winning more things is because, as the Buzz said, Steve is just not that fun to play for most people. If Steve was a fun character, you would see way more representation as Steve. You know what I mean? Like, if Steve was as Bale level or MK level or Cloud level, you would see way more representation of that character. But he's just not that fun to play, bro. I thought I was gonna like Steve, but you know, like I was like, this is kind of funny. And then I went to sleep and I woke up the next day and said no. So just not really my type of character, bro. It's just not really my type of character. But yeah, man, like, I'm not calling for, like, because I'm not a person who can like really make these calls and these plays. I think I will probably be more inclined to see some cooler matches if Steve was not at the top. But at the same time, I feel like that's probably not even true, because what happens is, at that point, with no Steve, even though these two characters are beating Steve, I think we're still going to see a very, very big gap between like Sonic's, Mia, and Spargo and everybody else regardless. Like, Sonic plays his character to great skill. Mia plays his character to great skill, and Spargo plays his character to great skill, but sometimes Spargo can falter real quick. So I just think that like it would be nice to not have Steve versus Sonic and Steve versus Game & Watch in my top 4 every time they want me to commentate top 4. I'm like big over that. We're at the point now, the commentators are at the top, like willingly being like, who wants to finish the tournament? And you know, that used to be a prestigious block. We will fight for that block, you know? Like, oh no, I would like to do it. Oh, you know, now we're like, hey man, you know, we should get some new blood up there, bro. It's not fun up there. And we try to make it as fun as possible, but I think there's some people that are like not understanding that, like, you can only watch this so many times and watch this uninteractive gameplay in this game where there's scrappers and still just have like, it still be as hype as you want. Like, when I get feedback of being like, oh, it sounds like they aren't interested, bro, no one's interested. No one is interested in this, okay? And like, I'm trying my best to at least feign some interest, but like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, watching uninteractive gameplay, and he built more blocks. And he built more blocks. And guess what, boys? He built more blocks. Like, we can't do that, man. So that is unfortunately that's kind of like a damper on Watch the Throne, because I think the rest of the event was good. And I think that's not like just a damper on this event. That ends up being a damper on the last 2 events of the year, to be honest. Remember, Poor Priority? It literally had everybody. And it was supposed to be like so hype. And it was so hype until the first 2 matches of the top 8 were over. Double Peach, Double Fox, amazing matches. After that, I was like, all right, well, it's all going downhill from here. I think I would just like to see some more tournaments without him, just to see what the results end up being, and if we get some more variance in like the top. I think there was a good statement by Yusei earlier that was like, Steve probably would have been banned a long time ago if it wasn't for top players' egos being like, we have to beat them at their best. Every top player want to be Goku now until they quit the goddamn game. Every top player over here throwing out sensu beans until they're like, actually, I don't want to do this fight no more. Fucking sick of y'all, dog. But yeah, it's not fun anymore. It's not fun anymore to talk about. It's not fun anymore to watch. And we were literally like probably one good patch away, really, from fixing this thing. I think I would be so down if Steve, just could not build unless he was touching some type of surface already. Even if it was like on the side of a platform, like, it still counts. You're touching an already used surface. But being able to build in the air is fucking insane. And it makes it much easier for him to get the resources. I feel like Steve should have to win an interaction to be able to farm or mine as much as he does, you know? Like, and I think right now he doesn't have to win an interaction. He just makes it so that you can't interact with him. Snowblock Steve would definitely still be a good character for sure. Yeah, I really hate that argument at the time. Like, you know, Melee or Brawl 4 and Ultimate all got moved on to because they were successors, right? That's kind of what happens, right? But Melee just didn't want to move on. It's a different type of game. That's great, man. Is it better? That's up to you as a player and what you like, from your platform fighters. I think all platform fighters have something that's really good about them. And I think Melee and its cult following will continuously push that like it's the best ever. And I think because of that, that's why other platform fighters stall and fail, because they think they have to follow that example of, oh, well, we have to be good like Melee, when realistically, please stop basing your game off of a 21-year-old game. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to, that's just not good game design in my opinion. Like, I just not good game design in my opinion. And to act like they didn't complain in the first years too about certain stuff in that game is absolutely insane. Y'all probably just weren't around for that shit. Niggas was complaining about Puff, niggas was complaining about Fox, niggas was complaining about Shines, niggas was complaining about stalling. We banned we banned wobbling. There's stuff in that game that's lame as shit too, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But you just kind of learn to deal with it. I think patch culture actually ruined a lot of that idea when it comes to Smash though. Cause you know, everyone, instead of just like learning the matchup, you now just complain, right? And that's never fun, you know? But patch culture is supposed to be a good thing. And just unfortunately, you know, when you leave us with a game that's like needed one more patch and then you just fuck off, yeah, it's gonna cause a lot of complaints though. Anyway, that was a tangent about some other shit. Yeah, man. So I mean, I guess that's probably about it for this talk. I mean, I think overall Watch the Throne was great. Top 4 was I mean, it was cool to see Spargo win, but you know, sitting through Akola versus Tweak was sitting through Sonics versus Akola, even though Sonics did win, the amount of like uninteraction, that gameplay of him like just having to walk up to a block, down to it 2 times and then walk away was just not, it's not fun, bro. If you got any thoughts on anything I said, definitely leave them in the comments below. Definitely read those and do reply. And also, if you haven't seen, there was a feedback thread for Watch the Throne on Reddit, so if you want to go and pop in on that as well, please do such. Very much appreciate you for doing that. And with that being said, I'll catch you on the next video, man. Thanks for watching. Next video is going to be coming up like right now, actually. So thanks for watching. Peace.